All right, welcome to this yoga flow, you guys. I'm Brittney, and this is Robyn. Hello. And just to give this flow a little context, I lost a friend earlier this week, and yeah, I've been moving through a lot of the emotions already, and I feel good to guide us through a little bit of movement to help us process even more, which, if you haven't heard, process is the word of my year. Maybe it's the word for your year or your day or your month, or so far for just 2021. But yeah, I wanted to just acknowledge this process of grief and how that can look so different for everyone, whether it's just crying or breaking down and not able to do anything, or maybe you keep yourself busy and busy and busy and just fill up your life with things to keep you distracted. I want this space to feel like you can move your body openly and freely, and whatever happens, happens. So whatever emotions take hold of you, I think we all have things to grieve. Maybe it's a friend that passes, or maybe it's just a way you envisioned your life. I think we all went through a grieving a year last year where we had to let go of what our lives look like, and we had to make something completely different with our lives. So that can be, it can be so many different things. But wanted to start with having Robyn ground us, and then I'll take the flow over from there. But yeah, be kind to your body, use your props as needed, so have them handy. I did want to start us off in a supported bridge, so go ahead and meet us on your mat and take one of your blocks with you. I'll show you from the side. I think I can actually start to lay down on my tailbone again, which is good, not like last week. But you'll just plant your feet down, lift up your hips, put a block underneath, and it could be both of your blocks if you have, want a bigger support for your hips. But just with your hands either by your sides or grounded on your pelvis, you can knock your knees in or keep them stacked right over your ankles. It's totally up to you, but just relax into your body, get your shoulder blades underneath you, and Robyn, take it away.
Okay, everyone. Take a minute and close your eyes. No matter what's going on in your life right now, just show up on your mat right now. Let's take 2 cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. So in through the nose. Release out the mouth. One more time, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Now let your breathing go back to normal. And don't change it at all. Just let it be. Just observe it. And I want you to think about what sensations are coming up in your body, physically, emotionally. What do you feel in this moment? Is it sadness, fear, anxiety? Maybe it's joy. Maybe you're having a really great day today. But I wanted to remind you guys that on days where you might be feeling a little less joy and a little more fear, that you are not your emotions. It's just a feeling that we have to observe and just witness where we feel it in our bodies. And it's how we react to it that is important. So in your future, when you have those days where those quote unquote negative emotions come through you, take a second, acknowledge them. And you don't have to react to them all the time. You just have to acknowledge them, accept them, remind yourself that you are not them, and let them go. So let's take 3 more breaths together. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time. Thank you for showing up today, no matter where you are in your life.
Just take one more moment to feel your sacrum on top of your block, to feel the heaviness of your head and your feet rooted into the ground. I want you to lengthen out your arms if they're on top of your pelvis, and bring your feet back underneath your knees with your toes facing forward. Pick up your hips, take your block out from underneath you, and stay up in this bridge. Start to walk your shoulder blades a little closer together so you can lift up your heart, really expose your chest, expose your front body. Take your chin off your chest so there's a little room for your throat. If your hands can interlace behind your back, go ahead and find that grip, and even more so, push your heart up, your hips up, by pushing down through your heels as well as your upper arms. Squeeze your glutes, feel the length of your hips in the front. Keep your low back feeling long by reaching your tailbone for that space behind your knees. Keep your breath big and 3D. Keep giving it that squeeze. Take a big breath in at the top. When you exhale, relax your arms apart, lower your spine down, go slow, 1 vertebrae at a time. Upper back, low back, and then your sacrum. Now let's try it all again. We'll make it really smooth, but this time just keep your arms really long, or you can make little robot arms. So bend at the elbows, and you're just really driving your elbows and upper arms down into the floor, keeping your hands open, and feel this lift of your hips while you expose your upper chest. So take a breath in and peel yourself up. Maybe even open up your hands and feel this expansiveness there. Exhale and just lower down. You can bring your hands back to parallel. Inhale, open up and feel this energy in front of you. Expand. Exhale, lower your hips down. Bring your arms back down together. One more time, breathe in and lift. Exhale and lower. Maybe you feel this energy within your hands moving with you. Go ahead and collect your knees back in towards your chest. Give your spine a rock from left to right. Just notice what you feel in your low back. Okay. We're gonna do a little bit of core work and build some fire for us today. Go ahead and lengthen your legs all the way up towards the sky, arms all the way up towards your ears. Just take a big breath in, and you can keep your toes pointed or heels flexed. When you breathe out, pick up your arms like you're reaching for the sky. Pick up your head and peel your upper chest up. Good, and come back down. Breathe in to reach back. Exhale and reach up. Inhale, come back down. Exhale, pick yourself up. Let the breath come out of your mouth if you need to. Inhale, open up. Exhale, peel up. Inhale, expand back. Think about lengthening all the way out through your toes and lengthening all the way out through your fingers. And just focus on squeezing your quads and squeezing your upper arms, allowing your spine to stay neutral. Focus on your breath. Start to feel any heat come into your body. Sometimes with grief, a little bit of anger is paired with it, whether it's at yourself or someone else or something else. Let that anger dissipate through your exhales every time. Squeeze or even open up your fingers and stretch your fingers as big as you can make them. Maybe you start to stretch your toes and flare them out. Keep your breath going. Keep squeezing your thighs. Keep grounding through your sacrum. Let your thigh bones feel really heavy here. One more. And exhale, let everything relax. Bend your knees. You can let your feet land wide and just let your knees tick-tock from left to right. Your arms can do whatever they need to do. I am in a cactus-shaped arm. You can let them be in a T or just on top of your chest and your belly. And then find pause right in the middle. Give your legs a squeeze and either rock forward and back along your spine, or if you're still babying yourself, you can go onto the side and rock yourself up. Okay, cross your ankles, roll over them, turn over onto all fours. So ground down through your fingers. See them have that big spread, right? Bring your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Let's tuck your toes under. Take a breath in, arch through your spine now. Lift up through your tailbone, lift up through your chin. Push down into the ground so much and pull your hands back energetically towards your knees so your throat gets opened up even more. Good. Exhale and breathe out, round into your spine this time. Tailbone slides underneath you, chin towards your chest, push your heart up towards the ceiling. Then with your breath, inhale, open up through the front. Exhale, open up through the back. Inhale to the front, letting your belly sway towards the floor. Exhale and round. Now come back to a neutral spine. So neutral that a block could stay on top of your pelvis for now. But let's put the left hand down underneath your face. Breathe in, sweep your right arm up towards the sky. And exhale and take a weave all the way under. Lower onto your outer right shoulder. You can move your left hand to the side off your mat or up towards the top of your mat. Or you can take a half bind. A little reach around for your inner right thigh. Imagine your knees are piercing down into the floor. And from this neutral space, energetically squeeze your thighs together and feel this rotation. Your left ribs open up over your right. Staying present, feeling what you feel in your body in this twist. Imagine you're wringing anything else out you don't need. It's sliding all the way from your sacrum, down your spine, through your head, and down through the floor. Take two more right here, just to soften into it a bit more. And then bring your left hand back by your face. Take a breath in to reach your right arm high to the sky. Feel this little stretch. Let your hips sway with you and really open up through your belly and through the front of your right shoulder. And then when you breathe out, you can lower your right hand down. Inhale, lift your left arm high. Exhale, take a slow weave down and under, coming onto the back of your shoulder and looking over to the right. And you can use your right hand to help spin you open on every breath out. And you can take a reach towards the top of your mat or behind your back, depending on how your shoulders feel, how that space around your heart feels. Acknowledge what you feel. whatever that emotion is. Breathe through it. Take one more. And slide your hand right by your face. Breathe in, lift your left arm high to the sky. Let your hips sway with you to the left. Expose your left side. And breathe out, relax your left hand down. Walk your palms forward, just about a finger's length distance forward, or maybe a palm print. And just walk your knees in back to neutral if they widened out at all. Tuck your toes under. Take a breath in and really push down into the ground with your hands. Exhale and lift up your knees. Find length in your spine and some openness in your chest. Just walk your dog out. Bend one knee at a time. Just to acknowledge your knees, your ankles, your hips. And then find a really long spine. So from the side in this down dog, imagine your body's coming into a V shape. And sometimes people collapse into their shoulders, right? But I want you to find some strength here. Push down into your hands and let your shoulder blades wrap down your back. And keep the integrity and the length of your spine by softening your knees if you have tight hamstrings today. Okay. Imagine your tailbone picking up even higher. Breathe big into your belly, your chest. Let your heels sink heavy behind your toes. And then just generate a little energy in your quads without changing what your spine looks like. You can feel it, right? Like your upper back will pop away from your legs once you tighten out your thighs. So just play with that balance. Feel out your breath. Notice your shoulders starting to heat up. Your hands start to get a little slippery or sweaty. Take one more right here. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale, lift your heels high. Look forward at your thumbs. Exhale and bend your knees. Slowly walk your hands towards your feet. Take a breath in and find a halfway lift. So energy through your tail, through your crown. Use your hands to help support you if you need it. Exhale, let yourself roll into a fold. You can stay right here, gripping onto your ankles, or you can hold onto your elbows. Just sway. Move slowly. Move like you're curious about your own body. Not attaching to any story, to any one story about your body. Even the things like, I am stiff, I am tight, I am old. You are not those things. You might feel those things, but those things can also pass. Slow your roll back down to the center. Relax your hands to the floor. Bend your knees and stack up really slowly. One vertebrae at a time. Let your head hang down until you come all the way up. Shoulders over hips, head over shoulders. Take a breath in. Take your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale and roll them down and back. Open up through your hands. Close your eyes. Channel your breath back in through your nose. If you have a hard time keeping track of your breath here, just count 1, 2, 3, 4 in and exhale 2, 3, 4. So you're just breathing in for a count of 4, breathing out for a count of 4, maybe 5, maybe it's 6. So start to stretch those breaths out. Can you do a little hug at the back of your throat to make this breath even more victorious sounding? Should sound like the ocean swirling in between your ears. Pull that breath in one more time here. And take a deep breath in, reach your arms high overhead. You can open up your eyes, see your hands touch together. Exhale and pull your thumbs in towards your heart. Maybe you have another intention for the whole practice or for whatever it is that you're moving through. Just take that time to acknowledge for yourself what that is. And we'll flow a little bit. Inhale and reach your hands high to the sky. Exhale, fold yourself in half, separate your hands, come down. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Energize through your upper back body, squeeze your shoulders down. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push through your feet and unhinge from your hips. Sweep up the energy around you, touch your hands overhead. Exhale, hands in towards your heart space. Inhale, hands high to the sky. Exhale, float down, dive, dive, dive. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Lengthen light out through your crown. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, unfold, come up to stand, reach up. Exhale, hands in towards your heart. One more time, breathe in, think length all the way out through your arms. Exhale, soft knees, dive it down. Inhale, squeeze your butt, squeeze your upper back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, reverse it, out to stand, hands touch. Exhale, hands by your heart. Nice. Now, interlace your last three fingers, keep this little steeple mudra. Take a deep breath in and lengthen all the way out through your arms again. Breathe out and take a side bend to your right. So think about keeping your left shoulder over your right shoulder. Right, so we're not folding over in half. And if you want, you can add a little bit extra by crossing your right leg over in front of your left. And dive in a little deeper into your outer hip, your waist. It'll challenge your balance some. Think about pointing out through those fingers, squeeze your arms, but relax your shoulders. Deep breath in, come back up to stand, uncross your legs. And exhale and just take your hands back in towards your heart and reverse that grip. So take the goofy way of crossing your fingers and breathe in, reach and lengthen out through your arms. Exhale, point up and over to your left. So start by finding this openness in your shoulder, and then you can work into your waist. And maybe you shift all the way over and lean with the left leg crossing in front of the right. Make a big crescent shape for one more. Then inhale, come all the way back up to stand. Both feet underneath your hips. Exhale and relax your arms down by your side. Take a breath in, roll your shoulders towards your ears. Exhale, roll them back. Now do a couple of head rolls, chin down, and just rock from ear to ear, or if your neck feels good, to go all the way back in full circles. Take those full circles. One direction, 2 times. And then we'll reverse it out. Let go of any stress you're carrying around your neck, your jaw, around your temples. And come back to stillness, back in the center. Breathe in and reach all the way up again. Exhale, fold yourself in half. And just find your halfway lift. Breathe in. Feel that strength in your legs and in your upper back. Exhale and walk yourself all the way out to a plank. That can be on your toes or on your knees, but your shoulders are still over your wrists. I want you to squeeze your core nice and tight, but keep your belly breathing big at the same time. I know it's a little hard to do. Breathe into your ribs, squeeze your thighs, squeeze your upper arm bones. Take one more. Exhale, touch your knees down to the ground, bend at your elbows, come all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes. And I want you to get light on your fingertips, take them off your mat, off to the side, with your elbows up towards the sky. She's about to knock me in the face, you know. Okay, push your pubic bone down into the ground. So your tailbone is really long. Okay, breathe in, pick up your head, push through your fingertips, and just do a little baby cobra. Exhale, fold back down. One more time. Inhale, baby cobra to lift. Let your shoulder blades slide down your back. Exhale, fold. Then bring your arms and hands back in by your rib cage. I want you to feel this little squeeze in together. Imagine you're a little cricket and your little legs are coming in tight together. Okay, tighten up your actual legs and take a breath in. Pick yourself up to a full cobra. So for cobra, your thighs can stay down on the ground. I want you just to waddle in your hips a little bit. Go slow, move gently for your low back. Just notice what you feel across your belly and across your hips. Then pause right in the center. Go ahead and pick up your head, and you can keep your shoulder blades working down. It's going to be a little active here. Look over your right side and see if you can just pick up your right heel and just say hi to the bottom of your foot. Hi. Then lower your leg down. Look over your left. And then bend your left knee. See if you can check out the bottom of your left foot. See how that feels for you. And then lower it down. Take a big breath in and really pull your shoulder blades together one more time. Breathe out. Use your core. Shift your hips back. And you can keep your thighs a little closer together than child's pose. And just round into your spine. Let your arms come back for your heels. So your hands are actually reaching for your heels. You can stay like this. That feels good with your forehead on the ground. But you can also try this little rabbit pose. And think about tucking your chin in towards your chest. Lift your hips and use the grip of your hands to stop you from rolling forward. So you're kind of counterbalancing between your feet and your head, but there's barely any weight, if any weight at all, in your head and neck. The more you push your upper back and your hips up towards the sky, you should feel this stretch across your spine. One more breath for rabbit pose. And exhale, lower your hips back down, relax your grip. Take an extra moment to move slow or shift your hips from side to side. Then we'll make our way back onto our bellies. So we're just gonna slide. Just being mindful of your space. Right now we're gonna do a little twisty, but yeah, just clear out your space if you need to. Okay, your right arm is gonna go out at a cactus shape. So your elbow is at shoulder height and your elbow's bent 90 degrees. Okay, use your left hand right underneath your shoulder, just like you did for this little cobra guy. You're gonna push yourself all the way over onto your right side and use your left leg to reach behind you and take a little stretch for your chest. If your toes don't reach the ground all the way, that's okay. Your feet or foot can stay floating. And your left arm can do what it did before in its twist if you want to reach all the way behind your back, or if you want to just keep that hand there to keep pushing. For this one, I'm a little lazy, or I like to use my body to give myself the biggest connection. So if you can put your right foot on the inside of your left thigh to keep your left knee pointing up towards the sky. That gives me a little extra hip stretch. So this way.
Like this?
Go this way. And then bend your right knee.
Oh.
On the inside. Yes. Hopefully you guys can see that. And just take 3 more breaths right here. And slowly come back onto your belly. You can bring your hands underneath your chin, your face. Just do a gentle tick-tock from right to left with your feet. Just notice what you feel in your low back. Then we'll try the other side. So with the legs long to start, bend your left elbow and bring it out to the side with your palm on the floor. Right hand is going to help you this time to roll all the way over onto your left side. You're going to keep your shoulder and your head down, right? And your right knee this time is lifting up towards the sky as much as it can. If you need some support, you can put your left foot on the inside of your right knee and thigh. If your toes are floating off the ground, that's okay too. You're just actively reaching back to open up through the front of your hips again. You can take the half bind as well with your right hand all the way across your low back. And I want you to focus on the stretch across your chest, through the front of your shoulder. Notice what's coming up. Maybe you're starting to feel a release and a relaxation now. Two more. And slowly unhook any feet, unhook any arms. Roll yourself back onto your belly. For me right now, it's just my body's asking me to rock my hips from right to left. So do what your body asks you here. Maybe it's finding stillness, complete stillness. Just feeling the length of your legs, the length of your low back. Whatever residual things are coming up in your spine or your hips or your chest. Stay with it for another acknowledging moment. And I want you to slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Pick yourself back up through tabletop. You can round into your back, pushing into a brief child's pose, but we're going to meet back in the tabletop with your blocks. And all I want you to do, nothing really crazy or special with this transition. You're just going to stick your right foot in front and walk it to the inside so your hands can frame your foot. And I want you to shift your hips forward into this little lunge. Okay, opening up through the front of the left hip. Just take one breath here to pick up your heart. Notice that stretch, that openness in your hip flexors. And then I want you to shift your hips back. Straighten out your front leg, your right leg. Focusing on this hamstring, take a breath in, think heart up. Exhale, think heart down, head down. And stay right there. Using the blocks just for support for your hands, for your balance. So you only need to focus on one thing right now. Your breath and how it connects to your hamstrings. Maybe that's two things. Last one. Okay, breathe in and just lift up your heart. Okay, I'm gonna try a transition with you guys that I don't think I've taught you before, but you're gonna kick your ankle in, right? Your knee's gonna go wide. You're just gonna let yourself slide all the way back so you're having a seat, okay? So your legs are basically like this, but you can move your ankle out so it's out in front. You're gonna take your right shin out and put it in front of your left. Okay, so now you're just sitting like a crisscross applesauce, but not really because there's a space in between your legs, right? There's a triangle down there. I want you to shift the glute meat out from underneath you so you can really root through your sits bones. Take a breath in, think heart up again. Exhale, start to lean or walk forward, using blocks along the way if you need to, or if you like to. I like to put them underneath my forehead so I can really relax down and focus on the sensations of the outer hips. I like this modified double pigeon because it's accessible. You get a really good 2-for-1 here. And the hips are where we store a lot of our emotions. Sometimes they get trapped in there. That's why they can feel achy, stabby, pinchy. They're talking to us a lot because they want us to listen. Pay attention to what comes up here when you do stretch your hips. And then take a slow roll up, no rush. Hands back can help you find some space to just shift your legs out in front of you one at a time. And then do whatever you need to do to meet me back in your tabletop. With the blocks. Again, nothing fancy. Maybe this is where you do your hip sway. You're just gonna stick your left leg in front. Walk your foot so it's in the middle, blocks on the side. Shift your hips forward so you can feel your right hip flexors. Pull your shoulders down your back, open heart, remember. Exhale and shift your hips back, straighten out your left leg. Take a breath in, float up your chest, pull up your toes. Exhale and melt down. Stay right there in this half split. Just using your breath to make this stretch feel dynamic. Let the tension around your head and neck go. One more. Breathe in and roll your spine up. Go slow with this transition. You're gonna kickstand your foot in, just so nice to your knee, right? Go slow so you can come down. You could always just ditch that entire transition too and do what you need to do to get into this modified shape, right? So this time, right shin's in first, followed by the left on top or in front. Okay, move those knees out of the way. Sit yourself up tall. Take a breath in. Exhale. Hinge first if you can, right? And see where you can get there with your long spine. And then you can use blocks around your spine and just support yourself there. If your mind is monkeying around, I want you to actually focus on your sensations. Or the feelings. Even the thoughts are good to acknowledge, as long as you let them float by after you see them. Once we acknowledge those thoughts, feelings, or sensations in our body, we can process them, we can alchemize them, we can choose to respond rather than react quickly. We can be thoughtful, for lack of a better word. Maybe we can be more conscious with our choices on what we say, what we do. Taking your time, rebuild your spine. Take your feet out in front of you, hands behind you. Do those windshield wipers. And then just with your blocks, I want you to set yourself up in a supported heart opener. So first block will be for your spine, second block for your head. It'll look like a little T shape. Okay, so when you lean back, I want that first block to be more on your upper back. So it shouldn't be anywhere near your low back. And then your head can arch back as much as that feels comfortable. Okay, for your legs, you can do whatever, again, feels comfortable. So feet can be wide with your knees knocked in. Your feet can be together, knees wide. Your legs can also just go straight. But let your arms come out to the side. And I want you to take at least 8 deep breaths here. Relaxing that constriction at the back of your throat, you can just let the breath move through you. You can play with where your arms are, having them go a little higher. If you want more of a stretch or opening on your underside. This is a really vulnerable posture. With your entire belly and heart and throat open, can you listen to what your body has to say or what your anything has to say? Feel free to remain here on your blocks, or you can do what you need to do to get comfortable in a resting position on your back. Just snake the blocks out, get really fancy. Make yourself comfortable. Let yourself feel supported here. Maybe those blocks move underneath your knees or back underneath your hips. Or you just want to lay flat all the way on the ground. Let your breath go regular. No control over it. I just want to read one little quote from an author named Jamie Anderson. She says that grief is really just all the love you want to give, but cannot. Take all that love that you want to give, Just bring it back to you. Fill up your cup. Take a deep breath. An open mouth exhale. Start to bring yourself back into movement, back into your body. Try to move intuitively, doing circles or full body stretch. Go ahead and bend your knees. Roll over onto your side. Use your arm as a pillow. Find one thing you're grateful for. Breathe it in. Set yourself up. Carrying that gratitude with you so you can take it off your mat. Sit yourself up tall. Bring your hands in towards your heart. Bow in towards yourself for just showing up on your mat and showing up in your life. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale to give it away. Thank you so much for being here. From our hearts to yours, namaste.